goddamn, I'm sorry for being late. Shout out to my peoples here. I did tell them, I said ish in my defense yesterday when I did my FSU breakdown. So, got BS with my car going on. So, still trying to figure all that out. But this is Big Games BS brought to you by Den Media Group, presented by Alpha Male Jacks. AlphaMaleJacks.com is the go-to website that you can go to get all of your mail issues checked out. Biggest thing is, man, if you're over 30 years old, I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. Go get a blood panel done. Literally go there. They'll pull your blood. They're going to check for cholesterol. They're going to check your hormone levels. They're going to check all kinds of different things. There are markers and indicators to see if you have your high risk for stroke. There's markers and indicators that show that, just more than just your blood pressure, your pulse rate, things like that. We got to do more stuff to make sure that we're going to live longer. The world is kind of already fucked up, but at least don't die. Die for something that, is reasonable. Like you could actually treat this shit. But go to alphamalejacks.com. Trust me, if nothing else, you'll get a free blood panel evaluation and Christine. And then if you need some extra work, like your thing's not working, now you got Dr. G that we can get you to for some more male enhancement type areas. Very private, very convenient. One of the things that I'm able to do is, hey, when I'm off on game week and I got something that I'm not feeling good, I just call them and then they can get a script. I'm telling you guys, the new wave is to make sure you have a doctor that you can call. That's right, Eddie. Morning wood. You gotta make sure you get that morning wood, man. Man, I'm checking out everybody. Brandon Lynn, B. Lynn, shout out to B. Lynn. He got the ticket. That was one. So everybody accounted for their tickets. So that was cool. So we had that. Just remember this, guys, all in level. So I guess this is where you could pull up the one thing, Miles. I'm a BS today. Actually, we can play the video first. I love it. Training Day is one of my favorite movies. And it's crazy because it's very true to real life. Denzel Washington, probably the most amazing acting job he ever did was Malcolm X and quite a lot of other ones. They didn't give him anything for being a positive black male. The only way to get shit done is to be negative. And this is when he was just diabolical in this, but this has got truth in it, what he said, though.
It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. It's 90%.
Basically social media, most YouTubes. But if you go back to the original post, we've got we're like 100 and I'll tell you exactly where we're at right now. I keep forgetting. I got the thing on the app here. Yeah. This morning we're about like a 170. Oh, that's the wrong YouTube app that I clicked. We have 2,824 members. So we are about 176 short of 3,000. Once we get to 3,000 members, we do our giveaway live on the show. We will give away $300. And if, like, for example, if the show were to end today, one lucky person will be getting $300, and one lucky person, well, I'll change that right now by adding the like, would be getting $13. So, tell a friend to tell a friend. Join, do those things. We're at over 108 members. My goal would be to get to 300 members by the end of the year. I want to get to 5,000 subs and 300 members if we could make that happen by the end of the year. The membership has its perks. We have two guys, two different winners of the pick'em. Now, I'm going to tell you, your names suck. The guys who won the college football pick'em and the pigskin pick'em, but we need to get that changed. So I'll go look at that real quick. And if that's you, make sure you can screenshot your actual score to prove it's you and then inbox me and we'll make that happen. But the all-in membership, so $99.99. Next week's Virginia Tech game, I will have 5 sideline passes if you're a Florida State fan to be able to come onto the pregame sideline. That's exclusive to all-in members. So if you're not an all-in member, don't even try to get it, or just become an all-in member. And you have to be an all-in member before. So, like, that means you would need to be, and you have to be current. That's the other thing too, is you have to be a current member to be able to get these things. So We'll also give away our tickets. The next ticket giveaway will be the Wednesday. So it's October 7th is the game. The 6th would be 5th. So October 4th will be our next ticket giveaway in terms of that. But we'll have other shit to give away. As always, if we get to $100 in the super chat, I'll find something to give away today. Could be a 50-50 raffle, treat it like that, or something of that nature. So those are just things to think about as we get into our BS. Let me go find out, announce who the winner is of our ESPN college pick'em. It wasn't me. I got my I suck at this. Because it was a very interesting week in college. I just put the wrong thing. So the group, then media group, we got 17 people. Also, if you're a member, that's how you find it. It will be in the member section, how to join that part. So group picks. So this second week, ESPN fan, Jesus Christ, ESPN fan 300-343-1778. ESPN fan 300-343-1778. Went 8-2. He his only misses were basically Georgia Bulldog not beating the spread and Washington not beating the spread. But he was damn close to going damn close to getting it because Ball State doesn't make that 3 points and Washington scores a little bit more, then they're a little closer. So that's who won that. You got to change that name up, though. That's a little sketch. Maybe somebody infiltrated our group. But if you don't tell me, then fine. I'm cool. I'm cool with rolling over to $50. In the NFL, the first week of our pick'em, I believe we had a tie. I went 7 for 8. I stunk it up. Oh, no. Again, no flex zone 904 is the winner. He went 11-4. ESPN fan 997701, whatever. To ESPN. Yeah, guys, just do the fucking effort to make a name. Like, just one extra fucking click, man. Anyways, no flex zone 904 is the winner. He got 110 points. Inbox me, hit me up on social media. Let me know if that's you so we can make sure that you get paid your proper earnings. Congratulations on winning the $50 fucking dollars. Yeah. Trying to see if anybody else. Oh, god damn, coach. I think didn't you win ticket? Did you win something last week too? He's gonna become the new, we're gonna have rules. He's the new Ramon. I'm start calling Ramon Raymond if he keeps winning. But anyways, so we got that again, trying to grow this channel to 3,000 subs, 5,000 by the end of the year, 300 members. We're at 108 strong. You don't have to be all in member. Any type of membership, $3.99 and up would be conducive for Florida State fans who want to get the perspective of the best person on the beat. Maybe a little bit abrasive at times, but go check out Trey's take. That is up on our YouTube channel. You can keep that part up though, Miles. If your college football, clap your hands right now if your college football team is undefeated. That would be it. That's the big game boomers. But not everybody is. Memphis, Duke, Louisville, Florida State, North Carolina, UM, Syracuse, Wake Forest, BYU, Cincinnati, Kansas, K-State, Oklahoma State, Texas, UCF, Ohio State. Matter of fact, the big three in Florida is undefeated. Florida State, Miami, and UCF are all undefeated right now. Meanwhile, Florida played a team with a pulse and got beat. But they destroyed. Everybody was victorious this past weekend, but you don't get the clap just beating if you haven't beat a team that's in FBS. We'll give you a shot later. On 3 Sports reports, the AP poll is out and the coaches poll is out. I believe Florida State is number 3 in both. Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, Ohio State, USC. For the first time, oh no, I think the AP poll is the one for the first time that has all 5 power conferences represented. I believe Texas is in the top 5 in the AP poll. but Florida State is slowly climbing up the charts, doing really, really good. And I'll say again, this class of quarterbacks is looking like it's going to be crazy. Caleb Williams went 19 for 22, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Drake May, 21 for 30, 208 yards, 1 touchdown. Shadur Sanders, who is having a phenomenal year, 31 for 42, 393, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Michael Penix Jr., shout out to Tampa Bay Tech, my boy Jason Roberts. 28 for 38, 409 yards, 3 touchdowns. Quinn Ewers, in the defeat of Alabama, went 24 for 38, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns. J.J. McCarthy, 22 for 25, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix, 32 for 44, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns. Riley Leonard from Duke was 12 for 12. Damn. Deadly accurate. 136 yards, though, 1 touchdown. Spencer Rattler, 25 for 27, 345, 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Joe Milton from Tennessee, 21 for 33, 228, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Jay Trav, 15 for 29, 175, 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels, 18 for 24, 269 yards, 5 touchdowns. Every QB came out with a win. That is dope. Some played better than others. I will say. I'll get into some of those guys here a little bit later. But Jordan Reed, an analyst, this is the guy I met. Yeah, the guy met him at the combine. Shadur Sanders is his comparisons to Geno Smith. I see a lot of similarities between the two as prospects: poise, command, and A+ accuracy. My guy Quincy Avery put up that he is very deadly accurate, and they don't know about his arm strength as of right now, but he's a very, very good prospect. Reed put a bigger summary is, what are your early thoughts on Shadur Sanders as an NFL prospect? Sanders dominated the FCS ranks at Jackson State, but scouts wanted to see his ceiling on the FBS level. Well, through 2 games, he has been arguably the most dominant player in the country, helping Colorado to a 2-0 start. His 903 passing yards are the most of any FBS quarterback in the first 2 games of a season since Mississippi State's KJ Costello threw for 936 in 2020. Sanders has displayed outstanding command, poise, and ball placement, and he looked great again Saturday against Nebraska. At 6'2", 215 pounds, Sanders reminds me a lot of Geno Smith as a prospect coming out. And that's what we're going to go talk about. Like Nebraska, I said it last week, and I've been very critical of Deion, but when I saw Deion beat TCU, I said, well, holy shit, that completely changes what I believe Deion will do on the rest of the year. Now, yes, that's not the same TCU that played Georgia in their national championship. Not even close. Most of those guys were 1-year mercenaries and graduated. That being said, TCU was a team with an established culture, and they're not trying to get a new coaching staff, and not everybody on there was brand new. So when he beat them the way and manner in which he beat them, that let me know that, okay, these guys can play. Now, I did think, and I was like, they could beat Nebraska, they could beat Arizona State, they could beat Arizona, some of these other schools that I thought maybe had a chance to be able to get them. I felt they would beat Stanford already. I felt they would beat Colorado State already. And there's another school that they play, but it was just crazy. But Matt Rule had been kind of getting a little cheeky with Deion. And then this is what Nebraska did in the beginning. Now, this is no stranger to what a Sanders would do. Deion walked on the sideline of everybody and said that he's been doing that since college, a blatant lie. But this is, I do like the fact of protecting your home turf and not letting anybody just walk all over you. So go check out the one of those videos. Is basically Nebraska huddled up on the Buffalo. Not having that shit. Yeah, I'm all about disrespect, but you got to back up your disrespect. Oh, my bad. Brandon said Trey didn't cut Johnny. No, man, none. trading and cut Johnny Wilson any slack at all. We'll get into that. But again, the Nebraska game was one of those. I was watching it at Trey's football game. And it was it started off, it was a very ugly football game. And my first initial thoughts were these are two very terrible fucking football teams. That being said, Nebraska showed that they were worse. Jeff Sims, man, wow. I think he has this, I think it's called the yips. When you like just forget what you know, like what you were doing. I think he's forgotten how to play quarterback. He does not, he's not a very good thrower of the football. And that's sad because he's immensely talented. But he runs the ball very well. And I think to his defense, Matt Rule did a terrible job of allowing him to do, well, one, playing him because he was a turnover machine. And then two, of not letting him do what he was good at. When he ran the ball, there was nothing that Colorado had for him. The game was relatively close until he kept turning the ball over. And it was 13-0 going into halftime. Jeff Sims ended up kind of breaking it away with a big long touchdown run that helped out. But Jeff was 9 for 15, 106 yards, 1 touchdown. He had numerous. Let me see how many fumbles. I want to make sure. He had 2 fumbles. All in all, Nebraska had 4 fumbles, 3 of which they lost. They had 5 total turnovers. 4 turnovers, and all of them were in inopportune times. You can't beat anybody turning the ball over like that. There's another notable Florida State player connection, Chubba Purdy, whose brother Brock Purdy is killing it in the NFL. He went 0 for 1 in that game as well. Nebraska couldn't do anything. Their defense was actually holding up pretty decently until they folded. Shadir Sanders again went 31 for 42, 393 yards. In the beginning of the game, you could see that he wasn't kind of getting a good feel for it, but really took it over in the second half. And just finding Xavier Weaver, who also came from South Florida, but everybody knows about Jimmy Horn, he had a 100-yard game last week as well, but he had 10 catches, 170 yards. Travis Hunter had 3 catches, 73 yards. And the guys just performed optimally. And I will say it was very it was fun. It was a fun game to watch once they got settled. Their kicker went 3 for 3. Didn't kick anything very long, but that's still good when you're not missing field goals. So you got 9 points accounted for that way. Colorado just had a really, what can you say? That's 2 very, very good weeks. I think Colorado could legitimately go into the Oregon game 3-0 as they host again Colorado State next week, who isn't any good. So I think that Oregon game is probably going to be prime time. It's going to be must-watch TV. I had a lot of kids telling me that the next couple weeks would make them go to Colorado for a visit or go to USC just to watch the show. Now, he does have tough sledding after this. You've got Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Oregon State all on your docket. But nothing's out of the realm of possibility with Deion right now, with the way he's got his team performing and believing. And I think kudos. Can't be a hater. You have to be able to respect what Deion has done and what Deion is doing there. Speaking of Deion, his alma mater, FSU had a big victory, 66-13. As what I would call that is the most dominant, boring performance that I've ever seen. And I don't mean just like one. I pray to God that everybody listening, that anybody who's listening that has command over decisions, please, no more 8:30 football games. I know what you're saying, James. 8 o'clock. It's only 30 minutes later than 8 o'clock. It's only an hour later than 7:30. But man, boy, Miles, when I tell you I feel old, I'm in that motherfucker nodding off, bro. Like I was sleepy, man. But yeah, definitely with that kind of blowout. And the way they played, but there's a reason why they played the way they played. They played a lot of people. So right now what we have up is FSU by the numbers. Oh, my bad. The first thing that should have been up is Trey's take. We talked about that. Trey, it's very hard on Johnny Wilson. Johnny will get better. Trey was just like, that is just not how I expect somebody to play. But before I get into it, Trey's take, if you're looking at the picture right now, that is a picture of him, like Norvell. They're just playing it. Yeah. But when I tell you, Trey went as a recruit. We took Derek Plies, one of my linemen from Mandarin. He is committed to the University of Miami. He wanted to come to the game. So I told him, hey, we're driving. We come in there. We go in. Mike Norvell is walking out of the indoor practice facility. He sees Trey. He stops everything he's doing, and he walks over and he talks to Trey. And I'm just like, man, Trey is a celebrity. But if you were an all-in member, you could have come in there, hung out with the recruit section. Trey went to the player lounge after the game. We were on the sideline. He got tons of footage, tons of video. He got a chance to meet legends, Kes McCorvey, Marvin Jones, Kendrick, Kendrick Scott, Lamont Green, a bunch of the former players were on the sideline that he met. But here's what FSU did by the numbers. They had 4 players with a receiving touchdown. They had 66 points, is the most against an FBS opponent, not FCS, FBS opponent since 2013. Jarian Jones had a pick 6. 111 is the 4th most points scored in program history through the first 2 games. 102 different players appeared in this game. Right. So for perspective, there's only 85 scholarship players. Just so people know. That means walk-ons, everybody was getting a piece of that booty. Like everybody hit. And when you're really like you don't play that many people, guys. Like you're not supposed to. Like that it's really no way to really get a good rhythm or a good routine when that many that many players are playing. You typically want to keep it to where it's about 50, maybe 60, because obviously you have your 1 and your 2 deep, 22 on each side, but you want to have it to where it's 50 to 60 players that are consistently playing. And the stats read as such. One of my disappointing takeaways, and the reason why is not just because they were playing a lot of guys, it's mainly because of lack of execution. Johnny Wilson did have 4 drops in this game, which I'm pretty sure it was 4. And he had 3 against LSU. So that brings him to a total of 7 drops on the season. But if he catches those 4 passes, that brings Jordan Travis to 19 for 29. I think Jaheim Bell dropped an easy pass. That would have brought him 20. Those drops would have made Jordan Travis have, let's just say hypothetically, we eradicate some of those, and it's a 6. He gets 6 more catches. That brings Jordan Travis probably to a 21 for 29 performance with about 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. That looks a little bit more Heisman Trophy-ish. That's more dominant. That's kind of what you want when you're looking at this. Trey Benson had 9. There were 37 carries total by the offense, and for 306 yards, 8.3 yards per carry. Trey Benton, nobody had over 10 carries. So that just put things in perspective to a short day in office. Trey Benson had 3 touchdowns as well. Jordan Travis had, again, 15 for 29. Tate Rodemaker was 3 for 3, 73 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty good day when 2 of your touchdowns are 2 of your passes completed were touchdowns. Keon Coleman, 3 catches, 48 yards, 1 touchdown. He and Winston Wright Jr. and Lawrence Toafili were tied 4-3 for the most catches. Darian Williamson had 2 catches with a touchdown. Vondravius Jacobs, 1 touchdown, 1 catch. A bunch of people had 1 catch. Biscuit, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. Kyle Murlock, Deuce Spann, Trey Benson, Destin Hill, Hakeem Williams, all with 1 catch. Hakeem Williams also blocked his ass off. No real good. We had 2 sacks on the day. I think Blake Nicholson had 5 total tackles, 1 solo, 4 assists. Just my problem is that just nobody dominated, but it was because so many people played. It was hard to kind of get in rhythm to just dominate. And when you think about all of that, and you still won 66-13, like as a fan base, we have to kind of chill the fuck out, man. Like, you know, just in a couple of the catches in the end zone, just you know, I will say this: Jay Trav went for the home, and I think this is what he was coached to do. Put it on film that we're going to take our shots deep. When there was a ton of underneath things that he could have gotten. And I'm not opposed to that. If they would have made those transitions, the game would have been sexy. But I'm gonna tell you this: it doesn't mean the game was not with highlights. Oh, my bad. And then Miles, you know what Trey did? So Trey has on his recruitment diet, and we go to the Champions Club because Trey doesn't want to sit gym pop with everybody else. And he took his homeboy. So Trey is the master flexor. His boy Key Money was with us. Key Money was with us, and like. Everybody knows Trey. Everybody's talking about him. We love your takes, Trey. We love your podcast, blah, blah, blah. And I'm telling them, don't get your head big, son. Only you're under 1,000, son. Like, everybody didn't watch that shit. They just know but whatever. So they say, hey, so they don't put James Anthony Coleman. They got to put your full government name. So they put Anthony Coleman III. That was what Trey's badge said. So people read it and they're like, are you Keon Coleman's little brother? And so naturally, Trey said yes. Apparently, he was chopping it up with Keon too during the pregame. And then Trey also found his way into the locker room after the game, and and I meant to post it. Trey also got well. This was just because of Trey. We got VIP shuttle service back to the truck. So like we were put in the they put us in the like the little golf cart and drove us to the truck. It was kind of cool. Again, Trey lives the football. I'm telling you, that's why I'm like the all-in lifestyle is Trey's life. Like the only way you could get better is to be my son. So Sandra, I hope I get my truck today or tomorrow or something. I miss her. Griselda is such a beautiful woman. Sweet. I need y'all to. This is what I need y'all to do. B Lynn, I think Brandon did it. It just at Big Game, at Sports Den, put that shit on the Twitterverse and say, hey, there's perks to membership. Appreciate Sandra got us now. We're $95 away from doing some kind of giveaway. So again, remember I said if we get to $100 on the super chats, we will do a giveaway. But all in all, Florida State did some good stuff. But if you can play, I talk about Keon Coleman because his performance stats don't pop off, but man, does this play right here pop off, man. It is just sexy. Like, I ain't even gonna hold you. I saw it in real live action where I was at, and I think this is going to be so Keon Coleman will now have, I think he's gonna get an Apple deal, he's probably gonna get a Jordan deal. And he'll probably get some kind of Area 51 deal or something like that because this lady basically describes what Keon Coleman is.
I am telling you right now. Keon Coleman is not real.
He didn't score. He got tackled on 3. He ended up scoring the next play. But that was sexy right there. You can't even lie. Like the jump was dope. I think we might have. Did I put one of the pictures up there where they got the freeze frame? Nah. That sucks. All right. Well, they got a picture of it frozen, and they put like Air Coleman, and it just like if it like almost looked like that's the MJ sign. Yeah, that's dope. The young man was clean. Like but like right there, they have that frozen, but from the side angle. And Snoop Menace and Peter Ward, both of their jaws are wide open. Like they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. And it was kind of cool. They're also there chopping it up with people, man. They're saying they're coming to the next tailgate. Pete and Snoop always support me. We got a $200 donation. Holy shit. Dog, y'all hustling backwards, man. You could have got me some members. All right. Well, damn. I don't know what to give away. I wasn't expecting that. We'll keep talking. We'll figure it out. Hey, if you guys would like a 50-50, let me know. Put in the comments 50-50 or maybe some Seminole gear or Jaguar related apparel. But y'all let me know. We'll work on that. Get them likes up too, guys. But hold on. Yeah, that's the Barstool Sports put up a good angle. And then I have the up top angle because I like to watch stuff from the I like to watch things from the box in the booth. So, but nah, very good, dope ass. It was a dope ass game. But this one right here was cool too. The troll was funny. Marquise Douglas is 287 pounds, not 387 pounds. And I'm pretty sure he's not that big right now, but big boy scooting. I think he could be a all pro tackle. But man, just look at him. Just my man scoot. All right, we'll get some Seminole gear. Well, we'll keep going. Like the majority wins. We're gonna push that. Let's see what Biscuit. You know when you get caught Biscuit. Biscuit's not a small nickname, but Biscuit's moving.
Quarterback, so it looks like Jordan Travis's night is over.
And understandably so, and he finds his big tight end there.
Big man move. You know what? Go back. I hate stuff like this right here. Like Buddy had a chance. Buddy could have ran full speed, beat that angle, but that's a lot. It's later in the game, man. It's like, actually, no, it's only third quarter. He's like, dog, we're getting beat to death. That's a long plane flight back to Mississippi. I'm just going. I gotta look like I'm giving some effort. Let me just look like I'm trying to make this. I'm gonna let this little receiver block me.
Douglas rumbling down the sidelines for a touchdown.
Yeah. And now Florida State does do this cool thing. If you go to the end of it, Miles, that right there, every time somebody scores, they turn all the lights off, and they do like a little light show. And that was the first time they did that. That was pretty dope. My guy coach said he finna get that bread now. Hey, I just messing with you, coach. Me like my guy hit me and like, hey, he sent a screenshot and a fucking video message into my thing. He be like, nah, bro, that's me. Nah, don't let nobody else tell you that's still this is me. Nah, but that was the Florida State game. In a nutshell. Go to the next one. He wants what? Oh, Biscuit wanted the gravy, man. It made me think about one of my last plays at Florida State. We played Penn State, and we were on our 1 yard line. We had got a stop, and we were just trying to get to the half. And coach called 34 belly, and that was a fullback dive because just get 1 yard. I'd never been tackled for a loss at that point. So I'm sitting here. I take my path, and when I tell you the hole was wide booty, butt, neck, ass open, like just boom, right there. And I said in my head, oh shit, I'm about to run all my fucking 40 for this bitch. I'm going to pull a hamstring. You're not taking this away from me. I'm like, I'm going to get MVP of this game when I score this touchdown. And then I didn't realize they were doing a stunt, and our offensive lineman did not block the motherfucker. And I mean, I'm running upright. I'm talking about to be Usain Bolt in that bitch. So it's a whole different run style because I see it and I'm ready for it. That motherfucker comes out my peripheral. I said, fuck. Bam! caught me. But I was going to be like Biscuit on that motherfucker right there, boy. I was finna scoot. But Florida State, there's changes in the rankings. There's always going to be haters in your life. And personally, I don't really care where Florida State's ranked at this moment right now, because I want Florida State to be ranked where they need to be ranked at the end. I'll make sure I'm getting the right thing. Yeah, but some of these people are haters. Here are the AP voters and their rankings. If you could put that up there on the screen, Miles, so people can see them. I'm not going to read the people who have Florida State ranked 3 and up. No, it's not down. I think you already have it up. The one before that, the last one. Before that one. Yeah, this one. 1, 2, and 3. I'll give the ones. Britt McMurphy, shout out to you. And even though you always got mess going on, but shout out to you. Matt Baker fucking hates Florida State, but he can appreciate what we're doing. Reese Davis, shout out to you. The guys who got us ranked 4th. You close. You're real close to that haterish shit. But 5, 6, and 7, Brian Fonseca, Kayla Anderson, Mike Niskolowski, or whatever your name is. Fuck you. Ron Counts. You should. I wish you would get spit roasted. Dave Preston and Mike Barber, who have us ranked 7th. Fuck you with Magic's dick. Like, I just can't believe you. That is just some pure, unadulterated haterism. But as everybody knows, one thing that Mike Norvell brought over here, a lot of people picked on him at first. Mike has a brick, and every team that they play, every opponent has their mascot on that brick, and it's breaking bricks. So each one is a brick. So when you win, somebody gets the sledgehammer and they get to break the brick. Now, when Mike first got there, a lot of bricks got to be reused. Not a lot of bricks were broken, but Jerry Jones, who got a pick 6 in that game, he got to do that. And if you could pull up that video from Logan's Twitty, shout out to my guy Lolo Robinson. You'll see Jerry and Jones get a chance to break the rock. That thing pretty heavy. That would be my fear, is like, you know, like when you go to the fair and yeah, it was. I didn't think he was gonna get it up there at first because he got it like it was just yeah, you gotta get that up. So I guess the weight, once you kind of get it moving down, it's all downhill from there. But yeah, but I was sitting there like, what if it just like cracks it? Like you don't break it. It'd be embarrassing. But anyways, going into other schools and college football again, we talked about Colorado. Just a great weekend in college football with some more games headed up this week. Florida State plays Boston College. We are a 28.5-point favorite over Boston College, noon game. So make sure y'all check this out. Can we please stop with the SEC? It just means more shit. I really like the phrase, and I'm going to get some shirts made, Suckers Everywhere Conference. Like, that's what the SEC stands for. And Texas A&M has I'm going to pull up team rankings because it just, you won't believe it. Texas A&M recruiting. Let's just look at what their recruiting class is for 2024 per 247 Sports. They have 21 commits there. They have the 5th overall class right now. Some of the best players. They've got 5-star after 5-star D linemen. What were they ranked 2023? They had the 10th overall class. 2022, they had the 9th overall class. Excuse me. That meant 2024, 2023, they had the 10th overall class. 2022, they had the number 1 overall rated class. 2021 is they had the 9th ranked overall class. They've got some cats over there. But if you look at this, they've had some good linemen. You see Miami, who just basically dismantled and had to rebuild a lot of stuff, physically whipping the ass of an SEC team. We saw the SEC West champion get their ass whooped last week in a game that let's be honest, if Florida State didn't have 6 drops in the first half, would not have been close. It would have been a fucking blowout. It's things like this that make us have to realize, like, hey, just stop overrating the SEC. You saw Alabama get their asses whooped by Texas. A lot of stuff has happened. Before we get into that, I want to say I'm glad Cam Kitchens is healthy. He went down for something. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I know people were surrounding him. He had to be put off on a cart. Very happy that young man is good. He tweeted out yesterday, I want to thank everyone for the prayers. I'm doing better. Love y'all. Shout out to Cam Kitchens. I'm getting better. I want you to go to this video after that, Miles. Yeah, this is why this is one college. SEC just has a weird culture with with the polos and the khaki. Like it's like they perpetuate stereotypes. It's like when you go to HBCU and everybody wore gold teeth and like acted like what people think black people act like. SEC schools and frat boys literally dress like how everybody thinks white, like middle-aged white people dress, with the khakis and the tucked-in polo shirts and the Sperry boat shoes. Like you don't have to do this. Like it's like if you've seen the skits with Drewski and all those different things, like that is literally the SEC. And so it's a lot of weird traditions. And they say, people don't have culture. You do. It's just your culture is weird. And this is one of the little cultural things that they do at Texas A&M, which before I get into it, a lot of people are against the consonants in these areas, but y'all do some very consonant things. So we'll see. You guys tell me if this does not look like you would expect this to be done with the consonants. Like I don't know what I just watched. And that's why I'm always really not appalled, but I'm always like, when I hear them say, we got to protect our kids, we got to protect this, we got to do this, we got to do that against the gays. And then I see stuff and it's like, you do a lot of gay shit. A lot of gay jokes, like a lot of things that are weird, man. And again, like for y'all to be so angry at these people, but y'all emulated them a lot of their things. My boy Ricky, the U in Miami, posted this great video, got this great video of a touchdown. And so we'll get back to the football thing. Tyler Van Dyke throws this ball. I'm gonna break this down a little bit. One, that is a lot of fucking time. You got a great steal shot right there, Miles. Back of your drop, all that money in that defensive line, that shit should not be happening. Miami's offensive line ain't that improved, bro. Like they're better, but they ain't this much better to where my man could make a whole smoothie back there. And then the Dyke, he finds the open receiver with this throw, but push pause. It took fucking forever for that ball to get there, man. Like that's not a rope. Like I'm not gonna hate. Like 2-0 is hard to come by. They'll be 3-0. Miami should finish this month undefeated, but I can't explain it. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Texas A&M because they should be a better ball club than this, but that's not gonna beat Clemson and everybody else. And if it does, man, this year of college football is crazy. But kudos to them for that touchdown because he hasn't been throwing the ball very well. But this really gets us into what the real question is. And all these people are saying Texas A&M fans are justifiably upset with the loss to Miami and Coach Jimbo Fisher. The Aggies have been remarkably average for the majority of Fisher's era. All of the Fisher's era. It is past time to recognize that Fisher is a problem, not a feature. There's no reason to have blind loyalty to a guy who has clearly been a bust. Some of us saw it from the beginning and subsequently got roasted by a fan base that's desperate for a winner. I get it. I'd have the same kind of reaction if it was my team. But at this point, there's nobody else to blame. It was a bad idea from the jump, and now the program is stuck in a position that doesn't have a good exit strategy. They just paid Jimbo Fisher more money for nothing. This Jimbo Fisher has not won more games than the black guy who was there before him, Kevin Sumlin. Just imagine, and Kevin Sumlin didn't get paid half as much as what Jimbo's getting paid. Just imagine getting rid of somebody and paying more for worse results. Burns, ESPN, just can't happen. A&M has every single thing going for them regarding facilities, recruiting, booster support, NIL, all of it. You can't go into a near half empty stadium and lose by double digits. Just cannot happen. They are livid. And this guy brings up a very good think piece right here. And I would love to see somebody do the stats. It's the next one, Miles. Could Jimbo Fisher be the problem with what's wrong with college football? Why is Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson playing a little bit subpar, not as high as they used to be? I'm workshopping a take that the reason that Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson have taken a step back is because Texas A&M has essentially taken 10 of the 15 rarest D-line athletes in the sport and made them irrelevant. I don't think I believe it yet, but I've got an eyebrow raised. When you really step back and think about it, like their recruiting classes and what they've had, especially on the D-line side, I believe I'm going to go back when they had their number 1 overall class. That was in 2022. And these are kids that would normally go to Alabama. At least 1 or 2 of them go to Alabama, Clemson, or let's show. They got Walter Nolan, 5-star, number 2 national prospect, number 1 D tackle. Shamar Stewart, number 9 national prospect, number 3 in his position, number 1 overall athlete in the state of Florida. Gabriel Brownlee Dindy, another 5-star, number 11th ranked national prospect, 4th in his position, number 2 overall rated prospect. Milton Overton, another 5-star, 17th ranked prospect, 6th in his position, 4th in the state of Georgia. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 D linemen, all 5-stars. Anthony Lucas, another 5-star D lineman. That's 5. And Nye White, a 4-star, damn near a 5-star. That's 6. Another one, Malik Celia, that's 7. Like their D-line class alone would rank them like higher than most classes. 1 or 2 of those guys is going to Ohio State, Alabama, or Clemson. And like now they don't get those guys in systems that fit them. And I'm grateful. Please keep doing it, Jimbo Fisher. Don't fire Jimbo Fisher. We need the mediocrity and the averageness. But shout out to Miami being 2-0. That was a good win. Gators are now in the win column. They beat up on McNeese State, who lost to Tarleton State. Actually, my bad. Let me go through the before we go into what I am curious to UM's box score with that game. Not taking anything away from it. It was really good. I just don't know enough. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Scoring 48 points against any Power 5 opponent is good. I like what I see here. 3 of the 4 quarters, they scored double digits. That's kind of exactly what you want with that. Obviously, Texas A&M can throw the ball. They went 31 for 53, 336 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just can't get a ball to them twice. They ran the ball pretty decent. Tyler Van Dyke went 21 for 30, very accurate, 374 yards, 5 touchdowns. I believe that was the most touchdowns that a Miami quarterback has had against a Power 5 opponent. They didn't run the ball very well. Rest Pro did pretty good. Young is the one who I think we saw in that touchdown. Jacoby George. They had, 3 wide receivers have pretty dominant performances. That's pretty good. Shout out to Miami on that. No hate, no troll. When you do something good, I'm going to tell you that you did something good. University of Florida, I can't look them up in the top 25 because they aren't there, but we can look them up in the SEC. And they played against McNeese State, and they 49-7. Not cover the spread against a team that, but kudos to their DC. I'm sure people will be in the comments of me calling fat. Actually, can I read? Is it safe to read one of these comments that I got from a notable Gator, Miles? You think? This is a Gator. It's not me. 2 things I've realized. Jordan Travis is a cheat code. Florida's DC looks like a kid that dressed up as a Florida football coach for Halloween. It's not me. That's somebody else. Notable tweeter believes that everybody was a little bit too upset with Mertz. You held McNeese State to, wow, damn, that can't be right. Well, that was wild. Yeah. You held McNeese State to 112 total yards of offense. That is crazy. You dominated time of possession. You had 560 total yards of offense, 233 passing, 327 rushing. Graham Mertz was 14 for 17, 193 yards, 1 touchdown. So you only had 1 passing touchdown, but damn, you did numbers on the ground. Montrell Johnson went 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trevor Etienne, 84 yards, a touchdown. Jacksonville's own Treon Webb, 71 yards, 2 touchdowns. Graham Mertz had a rushing touchdown as well. Ricky Pearsall, the stereotype breaking wide receiver, went 123 for 1 touchdown. Good shot on all of that. My guy Christopher Zinn, good Florida follow. You guys should check him out. Very witty, very funny. He put, damn, I can't see. All right, here it is. Good teams win, great teams cover. The McNeese State touchdown is very important to some. Gators were a 48-point favorite today, 49-7. Florida with 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. The garbage touchdown kind of fucked a lot of people. It's probably spreads. The only thing that really came out of a great weekend for Florida is that just you guys have a one guy on Twitter, Real Blue and Orange. He gets back and forth with it with a recruit from Florida State, Cam. Cam's good. Florida has some really, really good prospects too. Caden Daniels took over his game. He had 38 carries, 427 yards, rushing, 7 touchdowns for West Point. I have no idea who Caden Daniels is, but they won. His team won 50-40. Excuse me. He accounted for all of their touchdowns. He is from West Point, Mississippi. He's a 4-star. By On3 Rivals and ESPN. He is a 3-star according to 247. And Florida really likes him. Cam Davis is injured right now. But Cam Davis had 13 carries, 117 yards rushing, and no touchdowns, which is still pretty fucking good. In a 32-15 win. A dominating win. But here's where it gets weird. And I'm just like, I don't understand it. Yeah, FSU commit Cam Dookie got a fraction of these stats in his best game in a worse football division. At what point will his season stats replicate Caden Daniels' 1-game stats? It's kind of like, and then he's like, I hope his mom sees this. And I'm like, dude, that's kind of like, that's what you got? I'm like, bro, like, go. This is like, go get some vices, man. It's kind of like, this is where I need Brad Pitt from Troy. Go home, young king. Drink some wine, make love to your wife. We'll have our award tomorrow. Like, just wait till the kid is there. And it just screams douche and loser and all of that stuff. But I'm sure, and I'm not just picking on him. Everybody has this. And I got Florida, Miami fans, everybody that follows and tunes into my show. Like, if you're a fan and that's what you got to go do, you got to, like, I'm going to tell you, this is why I say recruiting is weird. If your life is to go over and critique little boys, you need to go do something with your life, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, there isn't a person if you want to say his stats suck, then I get it. Actually, shout out, can I give a positive update? What's that called? What was it? It's Judd, right? I think that's the Miami quarterback commit. Anyways, he transferred schools, and I think the school he led them to victory. So like he wasn't starting, he was on the bench. He got him off the bench and dominated the second half. So he has some cats that he could throw to. So, but Eric says this before he says this about Jimbo. People say Jimbo is trash, but without elite DCOC, teams aren't elite. Prime example, past 2 years, UGA's offense looked unstoppable with play calling. Now Bobo is back calling plays. They don't look good. I mean, whose fault is that Jimbo doesn't have an elite OC? It's Jimbo's fault. Jimbo chose to not have an elite OC. And he brought in Petrino, who has always been considered an elite play caller, and he can't get out of his own way. Jimbo's problem is he doesn't know how to get the fuck out of his own way. And that is his fault. He is the ultimate arrogance. But I was getting into that, what I was saying about the guy, Blue and Orange Gator or whatever, is to just mention this, is that there's classlessness everywhere. And and you got to get your kids prepared. Burnt Orange Buzz put out what Alabama fans were saying to Texas football players during the game. And I don't necessarily know if it's racist. Anybody could be in the projects or the trailer park. I thought they were going to say the N-word. I didn't necessarily hear it. Might happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. I don't necessarily think this is of the worst stuff. No. That was cool, but that actually play that actually we'll play that later. This one right here.
You guys are all faggots.
Yeah. Hopefully YouTube, the views expressed by these comments do not necessarily reflect those of Den Media Group.
You guys are all faggots. Go back to the projects, faggots. Go back to the projects. Faggots. Go back to the projects. Let's go.
I think it was more homophobic than it was racist. And if somebody told me to go back to the projects, they can't say go back to the mansion. I didn't grow up in that. Like, I don't know these kids' story. Like, you would have to individually know who these jits are. But not optimal. But I would say this. Sports, liquor, and competition don't do this. Like, that we need to play this Joe Budden thing. And just sports bring out the best and the worst in people. And I don't know why. Sometimes just like you didn't play. The crazy part is, why are they so upset? They didn't play the game. Like, I can see if you maybe invested some money, you bet. Okay, I could be upset. But like, really, are you that mad that they came in and whooped your ass? Like, because if those kids turned around and hit the stands, or that guy goes and plays for your favorite NFL team, they're going to be great people, right? That's how it always works. That's why I don't understand why people just feel the need to be overly mean and critical to people. Like, it's just fucking college. It's just a game. Like, actually, you know what? This is why I always tell people it's not just a game. Everybody loves to say it's just a game, but then they have reactions like this, right? If it's just a game, you shouldn't be this mad. But that's why they pay people, and that's why they don't pay the fan. And that's, clearly, again, anybody who doesn't see it is just straight up weirdo. But play the Joe Budden video. Hopefully Joe doesn't jab us like some of these damn shows when you play half a clip. But this is what you say to people when you see people acting bad in the stands or acting bad on social media. You need to say this kind of stuff to them.
You are a bitch. Your mama raised a good boy. Oh, be that. You embarrassing granny.
Niggas don't. Yeah.
That's it. You be it. Like, come on, man. Get your estrogen levels checked at Alpha Male Jacks. We can get that bitch up out you now. But I also think we need more Palace incidents, more Ron Artest out here in the world. Let you come and really meet the savages. Since everybody's savage until it's time to do savage shit. Moving into the NFL talk, ESPN, as I said, for the first time since September 2017, the Power 5 conferences are represented in the AP Top 5. Georgia, Michigan, Florida State, USC, Texas. So that's SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Pac-12, and the Big 12, which is weird and wild that in a year of conference expansion and everybody moving all over the place, everybody has finally decided that they want to do stuff. I did have one. Shout out to Mander, this Jacksonville connection, the New England Patriots. Mac Jones played at Bowles High School where I coached lacrosse. He's throwing this to Pop Douglas or Demario Douglas, who played at Mandarin for their state championship with Carson Beck, who is now the quarterback at Georgia. It's a good connection there. Shout out my boy. I know my boy Toby is extremely proud of this.
That was the longest play of the game for New England.
Garbage time a little bit, but it's all good. I mean, they're getting their asses whooped, not garbage time, but still a good catch. Pop, good kid, went to Liberty. Mac obviously went to Alabama. NFL in general, a lot of cool stuff going on. I own the Cowboys defense. Imagine getting 37 points on defensive fantasy football and still losing. That's my life. But Daniel Jones looked just like this in the game. If you got that video, Miles. Yep.
Get him up. Let him get up. Let him get up. Let him get up.
He'll whooping that ass.
Fight back, nigga. Fight back, nigga. Fight
They
back.
told him to fight. Like, that's crazy. Couldn't fight back. Eric Dunn put up a picture because this is Jags fan as we transition into the Jags. If you didn't watch NFL football yesterday, it was some bad ball being played, but also some very fun games being played. NFL Top 100. This is as voted by peers. The number 86 player out of the top 100 was Justin Fields. Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, was the 96th best rated player. Justin Fields, as a guy who owns him, did not play like the 80. They didn't play that high. Trevor Lawrence did not play his best football, but he definitely played better than Justin Fields. So let's just say go Jags. The Jacksonville Jaguars played the Indianapolis Colts. We would not say anything bad about Anthony Richardson. This is an Anthony Richardson fan account. He did not play bad for his first game. In fact, I'd argue AR-15 played well enough to win that game. And then the Jags defense kind of got tight. The Colts defense did very well. And the Jags are just an overall better team top to bottom. They won 31-21. Anthony Richardson went 24 for 37, 233 yards, 1 touchdown, and he got an interception, got sacked 4 times. He also had 10 rushes for 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Here's where it gets weird, right? So they went for it inside of their own 30 twice instead of kicking the field goal. That would have changed the game up, and the game would have been 27-31 toward the end. You always got to go for the points in the NFL. But the Jags definitely look good. Calvin Ridley is all that in a bag of chips. I believe, was that him on that one right there? Or is that Zay? Yeah, that's crazy, Zay. And this is kind of how their offense is set up. Calvin Ridley should be the number 1 guy, but he should leave things open for Christian Kirk, Crazy Zay, and Evan Ingram to be able to make plays when they definitely need to. And this one right here was what Zay Jones does a very good job of, as well as Agnew, who's another piece that's just like a Swiss Army knife. But watch this touchdown right here. I thought it was good by Zay. They're wide open. Can't believe he made that catch. Great, falling down one hand, got both feet inside. Incredibly difficult catch to make it. We just got clips. You could just keep rolling, Miles, as you get them. I talked about Anthony Richardson, but Trevor Lawrence went 24 for 32, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and really the interception wasn't very good. Like 2 of the turnovers that the Jags got were pressing the ball. You don't pressing situations. You don't get a chance to show just how good you are. Travis Etienne, 18 carries, 77 yards. He's on just really putting the ball around. Tank Bigsby, his fumble wasn't really on him. Trevor Lawrence got sacked, and it was a strip sack, went forward. Bigsby picked it up, and then the play wasn't called dead. So really 21 of the 7 of the 21 points came from a miscommunication on the rules. It would look like an incompletion, but they called it a fumble, and the Colts defender punched the ball out, and they pick it up and they recover it to score. Calvin Ridley had a fumble, but it wasn't recovered. Devin Lloyd had a fumble, but it wasn't lost. That's right. He got the Foye, 12 tackles. Josh Allen was going crazy. Josh Allen had 3 sacks alone. Trayvon Walker had 1. Josh Allen looked like and then he also had 2 quarterback hits. Josh Allen looked like the Josh Allen that everybody was talking about before. Like he like is it a contract year for him? It must be money on the line. Has he played that long? What year is this, man? What is that? He's 26. It's got to be getting up there. It doesn't show me right here. But Josh Allen did his thing. Andre Cisco, like out there laying, like got melatonin in his hits. Like it was back-to-back pacified pussy plays where he banged the guy and then they said it was too hard. And then like he was laying the wood. Then I think he forced a fumble, if I remember correctly. But Cisco was doing good. Tyson Campbell did very well as well. It's what was odd is that the defense played way more poised and way better than the offense, considering that nobody's talked about how good this defense is all offseason. They are the least talked about part of the Jaguars. So, but that just lets you know that that's what's scary. Scary coming into next week, man. If they Jags play the Chiefs next week, man. If they can pull that off, man, there's no reason to not believe they're going to finish this month 4-0. And one of the things that we've always said about the Jags is that we want to play meaningful games in November. You go 4-0, you're automatically playing meaningful games in November. The biggest thing is you want to take advantage of the wins early so that you can be able to get the wins and stuff that you need, so that you'll be able to be in position. The quicker you get to, the quicker you get to 9, the better position that you're in for the rest of the time. But the Jags, all in all, look good. You've got in the first few weeks that you play, you're facing a bunch of quarterback. Next week will be the one time you face a quarterback that's elite. You'll have Travis Kelce. They found out it wasn't a season ending, but it was a bone bruise, which is still tough to get over. But you've got the Texans Stroud didn't look very good. You've got the Falcons in London. And then you got Josh Allen, who I won't know anything about Josh Allen until today. I have him on one of my fantasy teams as well. But you should be able to get out of the first 4 games 3-1, 4-0, with Travis Kelce being down, especially with the Detroit Lions beating them 21-20. You have way more offensive weapons than the Detroit Lions have. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes, especially with, again, not just Travis Kelce. If they don't get Chris Jones that contract, they are definitely giving Trevor Lawrence a little bit of breathing room, because that was the other thing that looked bad. Man, this offensive line is really, really not good. It's just like they got to get better. They got to shore that up. But a victory nonetheless. Good job for the Jags. And moving into this last thing, and this is what we're going to end you guys with. Powerful men since before the Bible was written and when they were just stories have always been taken down by women. Typically women of a lesser status, because in a misogynistic culture, female purity and women purity leads, especially when it becomes a black man on a blonde. I'm saying that not to defend this coach's actions. Personally, I don't give a fuck. I don't need my coaches being pastors. I need my coaches coaching and winning. And if you want to fire a guy, I believe you need to fire a guy. But in our world where we have morality clauses in the contracts, we have this need to make everybody who's in a leadership position feel like they have to be this saint. Great men aren't necessarily good. I don't really know what to say. Like, David's the only man who's named after God's own heart. Martin Luther King fuck white prostitutes and beat the shit out of them, as well as just bitches left and right. It's a lot of people, man. Yeah. Where you from, my guy? Oh, you know what? It says THB. I have no idea what THB is. I appreciate that. I'm about to look this up. Well, we wasn't giving that away. We wasn't giving it away. So, like, we were giving away. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a great disclaimer. I just looked at what it is. Where you live? Because, like, is it good over there? They got some place. They got good Thai food. 0.028. Still dope that you gave it. I'm curious to this. How do I find out that the 200? Oh, I'm about to look this bitch up. Yeah, that's $5. I ain't mad at it. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know who this is. I hate when people send. I hate these people who keep sending me random ass messages on my phone. He said what? That's funny. You're right. That is funny. Man, I love my black ass coffee. It does look like oil, but nah. They call it food. That's funny. You gotta think America is the only country where people will complain about labels, but we label everything. Like, why do you have to be? Why does it have to be this? Like, bitch, because we don't have American food. Like, all of our food is stolen from somebody else. But yeah, I want some food in Thailand because my favorite Thai restaurant sucks now. And it's not their fault. The original owner died. But anyways, as I was saying, Mel Tucker is fired now at the from the University of from Michigan State University. He got crossed up with the wrong bitch. Now, what was wild is in all of this is that he slept, or not even slept. It doesn't read that they even had sex. It reads that they had phone sex. And she said that the phone sex was non-consensual, and she's a rape advocate. So Michigan State Coach Mel Tucker at this point was suspended amid investigation into sexual harassment of a rape survivor and activist. A formal hearing will begin on October 5th, but he has been fired. Harlan Barnett, who a lot of Florida State fans know, will serve as the acting head coach, and Mark D'Antonio, who was fired, but one of the most successful head coaches in program history. No, my bad. I think he had to step down because of some kind of controversy and shit. He would be an on-field assistant who will wear a headset on either the sidelines or in a booth. The external investigation that concluded July 25th led to a schedule the former hearing. He did not explain why Tucker was not suspended until Sunday, but beyond saying interim measures were previously done. The complaint filed December 2022 by Brenda Tracy, a prominent rape survivor and activist against sexual violence, accused Tucker of making sexually suggestive comments and masturbating while she sat frozen for several minutes during a phone call on April 28th, 2022. So before you say anything, Miles, I want to say this to the people. There's absolutely nothing in life that I have agreed with Clay Travis for. Clay Travis is one of those guys who I don't believes the things that he says, but he knows how to galvanize a base. I've always said that when I get really, really broke, I'm gonna go in that direction because I know how to get my money. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, but I know how they're doing things. Clay Travis. So the entire case against Mel Tucker essentially is that he had phone sex once, and the woman claims she froze and couldn't hang up on him. So she claims phone sex was non-consensual, but they had 27 phone calls for an average of 30 minutes before that. Clearly, this is a fucking relationship in some way, shape, or form. I'm not saying it's like that actor, the comedian that's funny. I can't think of his name. Who the women say they walked in on him and he was masturbating and they sued him for sexual. Yeah, Louis C.K., who just a very good comedian. I walk in a room and somebody starts masturbating. I'm walking out of the room. I walk in a room, I don't want to see that shit. I walk out. Like, there's nothing, like, unless you tell me like they said they were going to give me money or give me a role or some shit like that, then I'll believe you. But like, don't tell me. I believe in trauma. You know, she's a rape survivor. She goes around and she says these different things. But man, just say you wanted to fire Mel Tucker, and I'm cool with that. Just like, did you hear about the bitch that was going around talking about she got hit with a brick because she didn't give a man her number? And now they found out that she's done this same stunt 3 times. And then when people were challenging her, saying that those are like she's like, they're like, you look like you had an allergic reaction to somebody. They're like, you didn't get like hit with a brick. Like you get hit. I'm not gonna say how I know this. I've seen the effects for somebody get hit with a brick, and they don't look pretty very often, especially when that bitch get thrown right and you get like all that power in there to follow through. Like it ain't just giving you no nick. Like unless you got what was the black the black guy who was bulletproof? Luke Cage. Is it? Yeah, unless you got Luke Cage skin, that's the only way that shit's happening. But like the funniest thing in this is if I could find this. Damn, I can't find it. It's extremely confusing. He put her on a tweet not too long ago. I gotta find this. I know it's here somewhere in my group. My group, everything is in my group chat. So these guys are diabolical people. But again, when I'm agreeing with Clay Travis, man, I just have a hard time. It makes me not feel good. Like I don't know what to say, man. Like I want to believe, I want to protect this woman. I want all these things, these good things that happen. Oh, this was before that. Like they made her honorary captain for last year's spring game. So not 23, 2022. So, and when I tell you, man, is this a safe space? It's always the mid ones. It's never the ones that you'd be like, you know what, Mel did that shit. It's always the ones you're like, Mel, but Mel's busy. Sometimes when you're busy, man, you just gotta I think about Bill Clinton. Ain't nothing fine about Monica Lewinsky. But maybe, I don't know. Can't call it, man. Cannot call this shit. But I'll say this though, and I put this in here for a reason. There's a guy. Actually, Miles, if you go look up my that was the one. Go look up one of my last tweets, and that's the one I want to bring up because there was a man who I saw him out there less than a year ago. He was there and then he wasn't there. And I know this man can get down and he's a wild boy. Not that one. Yeah, that go down. Right there. That one. This man's a wild boy. And he was accused, a white woman accused him of saying some sexually suggestive things, and he got suspended from his job in the NFL Network. And he also got kicked out of his hotel at the Marriott, same Marriott I was staying at. Now, know what's happened to that young man? Young man ain't learned his lesson, obviously. Still standing around white woman, got his knees iced. But that was Michael Irvin. And here's an update. What happened? Michael Irvin has reached a settlement with Marriott in his $100 million defamation lawsuit and is returning back to the NFL Network. He's supposed to return Sunday morning for the first time since his February suspension. Irvin was accused of making lewd comments during a hotel lobby encounter. Irvin vehemently denied the allegations and questioned the severity of the accusations during a March 14th news conference. Like, I'm going to hunt her down, kidnap somebody and kill somebody. Irvin remarked at the time. So Michael Irvin, this is the only way, man. The only way for us to be able to prove ourselves, it's to take action. You got to sue back. So I promise you this. Mel Tucker is a good football coach. He is a brilliant guy. And I think he admitted to having the relationship. Like, he hasn't lied about that part. I don't think Michigan State gets out of this situation. And I think we're going to enter into a world where firing people without hearing both sides and taking into account both sides' rights is not going to be enough anymore. And I'm not saying that you should keep them, but I'm saying you got to ask yourself: is it cool to pay both sides? He's going to get all that money, and he's probably going to sue her and sue other people. Because here's the thing, man. I don't know nobody knows what the rules are. Like, you don't like it. Like, if somebody's saying something right now on this phone that I don't like, there's a few options that you have. On social media, you can block them. You don't even have to block them all out. You can just restrict it a little bit from what I understand. But outside of that, man, it's really wild. I don't really know what to tell you guys, but be safe though. Outside of that, man, I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We did not reach the $100 mark. Now that I found out that we got paid $200 in THB, which is kind of cool. Shout out to my guy for paying that. We love the international people. Appreciate you listening to us. Get some more of your international friends to holler at us, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.